On the topic of being on tour, though, I want to bring out our first very special friend. She is about to go on her own tour for the first time in a couple of years. She really doesn't need any introduction for our audiences. It's Canada's own Jann Arden. Hi, Jann.
Oh, I'm so thrilled to be here. Thank you. Just honored.
Well, it's an honor for us too, and I love that I have Jane and Jann on the call. That's very fun. But even more fun is, Jann, it's your actual birthday today.
It is. Yes, I just turned 60 today. So yeah, I'm thrilled to be forging forward. I've loved getting older. I feel it really is an honor to have your health and to be able to do the things that you like to do and to participate in the world, and think that I still have time to try and leave the place a little better than I found it. And Dr. Goodall has certainly led the way with all of that. So at least I have a path to follow.
You sure have. I mean, if you're 60 and I'm 88, wow.
Yeah, no, it's great. I'm not much of a birthday person, to be honest. So I showered and put makeup on to talk to you guys today. So I hope people really appreciate that. My little dog he's 4.5 months old. He's put himself to bed. He just looked at me sitting in front of the computer, and he already knows it's like, oh, here she goes again. But I agree with Jane. It's just, I've been so busy Zooming and riversiding and FaceTiming, booking, and been able to do jobs and do advocacy sitting in a chair and reaching. I mean, talking, Jane saying you've reached billions of people. It's true. I've seen you everywhere, and I knew that was a good sign. Just seeing you and hearing the conversations and what's going on and how we can change and what things that we can do, that people feel helpless. And now, being able to see you and have that kind of access has been profoundly, it's just been very empowering for billions of people.
Well, thank you. That makes it more worthwhile,
Indeed.
Yeah. Thank you.
Jann, can you tell us a little bit about some of the animal advocacy work you've been doing? You've obviously been a great supporter of our work and of Jane's, but you've been doing some awesome stuff out in the field in COVID as well. Can you share a bit about that?
Yeah, I've been very fortunate to work with an agency called the Canadian Horse Defense Agency. And since 2006, they've been working on stopping the hideous practice of exporting large draft horses from Canada to Japan. These are purpose-bred horses. So some of them come from auction houses, but most of them are bred to be shipped at 18 months to Japan for a raw sashimi market. It's a terrifying journey for horses. They're flight animals. It's really a very small group of people that make between $20 and $25 million a year shipping these horses. They have no lives. They grow up in feedlots. And we've raised a lot of awareness. We were very happy to announce that the Liberal government, one of their election platforms, they've mandated banning the live export. They're backpedaling a little bit now, so it's time to put the pressure on. But the people at the Canadian Horse Defense are a remarkable group of people. And we feel like it's a shard of Canadian agriculture that we can change. And there's a saying in my business, you're only as good as the worst person in your band. And it's a taint. It's a sinister part of Canadian agriculture. And that it is a part of Canadian agriculture to send these innocent horses on a 2-day journey in a crate, no food, no water, no headroom. So that's what I've been working on. I will not stop. We will not stop. There's hundreds of thousands of Canadians that don't want us doing that either. So fingers crossed, the Liberals will follow through on Prime Minister Trudeau's mandate to end the live export of horses across oceans, and it's a hideous journey. So let's keep hoping.
Yep, and it's not just horses; it's cows and it's pigs, and
yes,
it's horrible, horrible, horrible.
Yes,
you have to have interest groups for each kind of group of animals, but the whole thing is absolutely stinks.
It sure does. Live animal export is it really is a shameful part of modern man. And we're dealing with these the pandemics that have shown us, viruses jumping from animals to humans is part of our future. This does not end with COVID-19 here today, folks. It's something, if we keep traveling animals thousands and thousands of miles in hideous, unclean, inhumane conditions, we are going to be facing a lot more pandemics in the future.
Yep.
Jann, I'm going to let you jump in because I think you have some questions for Jane. Yes,
I do. Just, you were talking about industrial farming, and that's certainly a part of industrial farming. Over the years, have you seen any progress that's being made, like a good news stories around the world in sustainable and ethical farming practices with animals?
Well, yes, because for one, massive new awareness. People weren't aware before.
Exactly.
People just didn't think, and you can't expect people to be angry if they don't get education. So now there are many, many different animal groups advocating and exposing with secretly filmed video the horrendous conditions in these factory farms. And that has made a major difference. And one sort of outlet of that is the huge increase in veganism. Many, many more people are vegan. And when you ask them why, they say, well, it does make me feel healthy, but actually the reason is that I can't stomach the thought of the cruelty to animals that goes with not only the beef and the pork, but also the eggs and the milk. So yes, there has been a major shift in consciousness.
Yeah, very fast growing food movement is veganism, and even a couple of plant-based meals a week. You always try and encourage people to start somewhere. For me, laughter has always been such a great balm for my soul to use laughter and to use humor in my life, even looking at very dire, dark situations that seem impossible. And I was just wondering, how you bring joy into your life and laughter into your life as you work so hard for these animals, over these past decades. I mean, you've seen so much hardship, but a lot of triumphs too. I love seeing, a chimpanzee run into your arms that hasn't seen you for a while. And it's just like, there she is, my old friend. And it's so encouraging. I think it really, to smile and to laugh and to feel that joy is important. So I was just wondering what your take was on that.
Well, it was much better than what you say. And there are so many bits of information out there. People are getting the wrong idea. I never met that chimpanzee until that day. That was the first time I met her. And I was with her on the boat. And so when she came out of her traveling cage onto the island, she first went to Rebecca, the veterinarian who saved her life, and presented her rump to be patted, which is submission. Then she climbed on top of her traveling cage and looked around, and she looked past me like this, and then suddenly did a double take and looked back. And that's when she came and embraced me. And it was the most amazing thing that's ever happened. And it was as though, as one of the guys said, how did she know that that lady is responsible for us having our freedom? And of course, she didn't know that. But there is a connection that I have with animals. It's not the only occasion, but that was a very, very special occasion. And fun and laughter. Well, we do a lot with children with our Roots and Shoots program that's in over 60 countries now. And the other day I was having question and answer with children of all ages, but this little girl of 5, she came up to the microphone and she spoke very quietly because she was very shy. And she said, Dr. Jane, can you tell me why apes don't have tails? And I mean, why don't apes have tails? I mean, that's out of the mouths of babes. I said, I can't answer you. But, why don't we have tails? Because we're apes too. And so it's just, children make you smile and children make you laugh. And they say such wonderful things. And they're so innocent and so perceptive.
And so open.
And so open.
Well, thank you for that. For sharing that little piece of the story. Like you said, the internet is very powerful, but sometimes you get fragments of stories. So thank you. That makes it even just more mind-boggling. Great moment.
Jann, of course, we have this virtual auction that we're hosting in Jann's honor right now, and you actually have contributed something to it. Do you want to talk about that?
I am so happy, so thrilled to donate tickets, premium tickets to my Vancouver show. So we've got a pair of tickets. It's at the Queen Elizabeth Theatre. It's for Jane's 88th birthday, of course. And so it's June the 14th. Please bid. It's down at the bottom of your screen there. And I'm hopefully I'll get a chance to say hello to you. And if not, we will definitely give a shout out. But yeah, it's going to be a great show. And yeah, so get in there and bid, darn it.
Yes, thank you, Jann. That's awesome.
Please get in there and bid. Please give money to help us keep our programs going and to save chimps like Wunda from a fate worse than death. And of course,
for our audience at home, our auction team actually just pushed those tickets live as we're sitting here talking. So do take the advice from Jane and Jann here. Go make a bid. Jann, thank you so much. Happy birthday. So great of you to do this.
I'll never forget this birthday as long as I live. It's special. It's an honor. You inspire so many millions, billions of people, Dr. Goodall, and it has been an absolute adventure of educational, learning, emotional journey, and I can't wait to see what you do next. And we're all with you. You've got so many of us that are learning, and I have a lot of hope for this old world. And like you said, young people, they're changing how they think. They don't want to inherit a world that is broken. They want to inherit a world that's filled with possibility, kindness, and thank you for that, Dr. Goodall. So, and happy birthday next week. Enjoy. Don't become an alcoholic.
Thank you, Jann.